これは面白い。
So undeniably, this was an incredible episode of Pokemon. Now, here's the thing, and I want to put this nitpick out there at the beginning of the video before I just kind of gush over the rest of the episode, which I think was awesome and incredible. And the nitpick, okay, is at the end of the episode where I don't know what his name is, but the blue hair dude with the Umbreon reunites with the bad guys, right? He's part of the same group where Amethyst, Amethio, whatever the hell the guy's name was. He's part of the same group. He was just like a more powerful guy, right? And the note that I wrote down for myself was the bad guys are really lame. Now, that's no fault and that's no problem because the bad guys in Pokemon have always lacked nuance and have always been kind of lame. Now, there was a point in the Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire generation of Pokemon, even in the anime, where the bad guys had a little more nuance, but the context of their nuance came from the games, okay? Now, here's my actual thing, is I think one thing that would be incredible would be before they just have the bad guys go after our protagonists as the bad guys, I would love for them to spend a little time giving context to the bad guys. Maybe we even have a whole episode on their inner workings, who they are, what they do, blah, blah, blah. You know, because right now, for face value, it just looks like a bunch of lame 12 to 30-year-olds, including the butler who's probably like 50, who just gather and shake their fist and laugh maniacally at how they're going to complete this task, right? Which is stealing this pendant. They just go, you suck. And it just looks like it's like a meeting of the bad guys. But I would love to know more about each of the bad guys. And maybe before the pendant, what they did, right? What does this organization do? What kind of crime do they commit? Do they steal Pokemon? Are they experimental? Do they do it like crazy experiments? Are they running, crime syndicate type organizations around the various cities around Paldea? I just want to know, like, what's the different nuances between, this crime organization? I know it'll never happen because Pokemon, and I get it. And not a lot of anime really get the bad guy scenario right. They just say, oh, they're bad because they're bad. They're bad to the bone. They just do that to do that, And I get not a lot of them get it right, but I would love, love to see, an episode or maybe two halves of an episodes, just dedicated to giving these bad guys, Amateo, that was his name, giving Amateo more context. Like, what's he doing right now? You know what I mean? Like, is he doing some other bad guy stuff, in somewhere else in the world? Like, what is he really doing out there? What is this guy doing? Like, what, he's pretty powerful. His Umbreon's pretty crazy. Was he a trainer turned bad? Like, give these guys some more context. I just want to know what their bad guysness, is really all about. And like, what do they do as this little, clique organization of bad guys, For me, it just looks really lame when they just get there. And you have like a little girl going, you suck so much. And it's just like, okay, what are you? Who are you? What do you do? Why are you better than this guy? So those are my thoughts on the bad guys and the lame villains in anime in general sometimes. So this episode, I love how, and I'll just kind of be all over the place, but I love how Dot finally broke and she revealed, I am Gurumin, I am Nidothing, right? Like, she finally broke, and I love that, because Liko is, denser than a brick wall. And, even Liko was like, oh yeah, you're super fat. She's like, no, I am Gurumin. Liko's like, what? And I was like, okay, that's a cool scene. So I thought that was pretty cool. I like how, the Pokemon that they have, like Arboliva and with them and the pendant. I like how they sense danger and they can sense Liko being the passion. I'm wondering if at this point, is she a descendant of the legendary, whatever? Like, what is her tie to the legend Pokemon trainer of the past? I mean, was that her grandpa or something like that? I think that would be really cool to find out if she has some lineage there. Of course, I would assume it's probably through her mom because she's a little bit more badass. But, what's the whole deal there? I think that would be really cool to find out. Or it could be her dad, and that makes sense of why he suddenly, came up with this, crazy story in his book, is maybe it was told to him when he was younger or something like that. So we and they figure out that Liko is actually the key, but the Umbreon guy doesn't share that with the bad guy organization. He just kind of keeps that for himself. Sorry, guys, I'm a little under weather this morning. Outside of that, though, I like their fight. I like how Arboliva saved them. I like how Arboliva just was in the ocean swimming. I thought that was really, really cool. I like how they finally figured out where this bad guy was. Obviously, there was a literal bad guy van. Like you want a puppy kids kind of van. And I was like, yo, that's the guy right there. He's right there. But I like how they finally put that together. I like seeing Liko, Roy, and Dot fight. I like how Dot caught her first Pokemon officially, which was Quaxly. So now Dot has Quaxly, Liko, Sprigatito, and Roy has Fuecoco. Roy also has the Wattrel, which came out of his Pokeball and fought this episode as well too. So I really love that. I like how Freed took down the other guy with the I forget what Pokemon he had. But he took down the other guy too. And I kind of like how everything wrapped up this episode too, and I like how they were able to overcome the Elgyem, the Magneton, and then Umbreon at the end. And even Umbreon was kind of scared poopless because of the big ass Arboliva. He's like, "Yo, we got to go." So, really, really good episode overall. I like everything that occurred this episode. I thought the pacing was really good. My only nitpick is not something that's really, something that's, it's controllable, but it's not something that, within expectations of Pokemon, just is what it is. They only spent a little bit of time on it, and I nitpicked it for about 4 minutes, but it's just one of those things to where it's like, man, if they just went that one little extra step, this could be even better than it is, which is already really good. So those are my thoughts on Pokemon Horizons episode 16, question mark? Yeah, episode 16. All right, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And trainers, I'll see you guys next weekend. Peace.